When the show by Lauderdale, Jones, Scott, and Smith, Winston, Leak, you better act right. Don't drive slow and be wild at night. 'Cause you need to know that if you do, that Scotty Ray is watching you. He's everywhere, he's everywhere. That man is faster than a scalded cat. If you do something dumb, then you better run with haste. Scotty Ray's at a wreck before it ever takes place.
And good morning, I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie as we begin our day. Sneak peek at Julia there.
Oh, yeah.
We do hope your day is going wonderful for you as we begin. It's 30 right now. Our high should reach somewhere around 63, Odie reports.
We're getting there. It's slowly but surely rising before it starts taking a heck of a dip.
Boy, she's really adjusting you over there, Greg.
I know.
He had his jacket.
Greg, you're going to have to move over.
Well, I'm scared.
Okay, you're going to have to move
I
your
had my
mic.
jacket on the back of the chair. She didn't like that.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, you
still
got to
gotta-
keep going. We still
you're
don't
gonna
see
have to
you.
sit by me.
We had a slight adjustment in the picture this week. We got to redo the
JJ
cameras.
was over here, and had to make some
We had to
adjustments.
adjust it, and yeah, we're gonna
Nothing centered.
We got to get everything recentered.
You still
this
are
week.
there.
Well, just a little of him goes.
Well, I'm telling you,
They've moved
I can't even see the screen now.
He's moved the camera.
Yeah.
We're going to fix that, though.
We're gonna
Don't hang
quit.
it. Sad news as we begin this, as we remember a legend that has died. And I just remember watching Major League, him calling the ball games.
He drank a lot of bourbon during those ball games while he was announcing.
Bob Uecker has passed away at the age of, is it 90?
90.
Right? Here's a picture of him there. The big story as it breaks loose there. He was forever a legendary announcer. But he would go on to be, was it Miller Lite?
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Must be on the front row.
Had them cheap seats up and nosebleed. Yeah, we must be on the front row.
There's the scene, as you remember there from Major League, Bob Uecker. He had such an incredible voice that is undeniable. Everybody knew it when you heard it.
And we lost again. Is that surprising?
I'm telling you, that Major League stuff was hilarious.
It was.
Did you watch that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's just been a long time.
It's one of those
Not
that-
in the
Wow,
It's not in the
thanks.
rotation.
Yeah, you cannot, like, if it's on TBS, if that's still a network, I don't know, you cannot go past it. You got to watch
Oh,
it.
I can.
Yeah.
Really? You go past that?
Yeah, if I want to watch it, I'll watch it on streaming. I don't want commercials.
Bob Uecker. Boy, I sure liked it.
Clearly.
Anyway. Well, y'all upsetting me early here as we get to this. Do y'all remember the name Jim Acosta? Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, but
him and
how?
Him and Trump used to not get along too good? Yeah, he's been banished. It looks like CNN, in an effort to make things better with the White House, is going to move his show to midnight.
I got
Oh,
an idea for
gosh.
CNN.
You want to talk about moving someone?
Yeah,
That's
Like you can
serious.
keep your job, but you're just going to do it in the broom closet.
That means we really want to get rid of you.
Well, CNN needs to redevelop and change its name because
Would
the
there-
whole network.
would there-
What did they say not too long ago that Martha Stewart had more visitors, her and Snoop Dogg?
I don't
than
doubt that.
CNN does.
I don't. Their ratings have plummeted because people just don't trust anymore. And Jim being part of that, and they are doing their best to try to. Even MSNBC is doing a little bit of effort there to break bread with Trump. They see a different horizon for the United States moving forward.
I just think I'm hopeful that this is good and that everybody's media is supposed to just report what happened. They're not supposed to have an opinion.
I agree.
They're supposed to tell people and then they form their own. So maybe that this is a step in the right direction. So I think we should all be positive about it.
Yeah, there's a reason to be with that. But it has been, we were talking the other day, when did it happen? Was it when OJ went down the road that the news started doing this to where everything was opinionated then and they just added to the story? Is that it, or was there another story?
No, I mean, there's been opinion. I mean, people have like leaned, you pick and choose.
Back to the 70s and 80s. I mean, you always had one leaning one way and one leaning the other. The problem was it got to the point that they were all leaning
Right.
Yeah.
That's where.
what we consider the wrong way.
Yeah.
What was this one CEO? We won't say what group, but y'all know. He said he used to get so many calls from the White House going, "Don't let that happen. Change the thought process." And
Yeah, the
now
media
he
should
jumped
be
on Trump's side, going, "Hey, look, I'm willing to work with you."
Yeah,
The
that
media
has
should not be creating a narrative, and that's when you call them up and say, "Hey, make them feel this way" or whatever, because you know everybody, you know how to tell a story so that you can be telling the truth, but you're leaving out some critical pieces. So
Do you remember Jake from State Farm? Jake from
What are you wearing, Jake?
Khakis.
sort of dressed like Jake from State Farm today. aren't you?
Somewhere in the middle of the night, Jake changed people, number one. But they are deleting Jake from the Super Bowl. That ad is going away in light of the fires that happened out in California. That commercial is going to be backtracked and not be played during that.
So I need to look into this a little bit more, but I'm Big Talk Radio. And there was a guy who called in who does insurance, and now he works for a fire restoration company out in California. And he said it's a little different there than it is in most any other place, where if my house was to catch on fire and I called my insurance agent, I get my money for my house was insured, then I can rebuild if I want to, or sell that property and go buy another home. Can't do that in California. They insured that home. You've got to start rebuilding that home, and as you spend the money to rebuild, they will reimburse you.
Never heard that.
How can these people? How can you do that? And it's going to take 3 to 4 years to even start rebuilding.
I did
homes.
see where they were
That's
waiving
sad.
a lot of building codes to get the ball moving back forward.
That's comforting.
Yeah.
Right on the ocean. Let's get rid of all they
Well,
know.
look, they let them build on the side of a mountain on soil,
Yeah.
and then they wonder why the houses are coming down the hill. So the building codes in some areas might not be strict enough.
Hey, and one last move. Biden went and said, hey, you can leave jail. 2,500 folks are leaving there that are supposedly nonviolent drug offenders.
Talking about Washington or jail?
That's pretty good. I agree with you on that. There's going to be a few of those cut loose from Washington also. It is coming on Monday. Do y'all realize it's going to be the coldest inauguration? I almost stumbled on that. In history, they're looking at it to be 17 to 18 degrees.
I can't.
Could
I can't
you
even.
handle it?
No.
Oh, I bet they got some heaters going up there.
I mean, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
That's cold, and I'm sure it's going to be windy.
But it's a different cold up there than it is down here.
That's just
I
cold.
don't care. 17 degrees, brother. It's cold. If it's 80% humidity or 5% humidity.
What I send you,
It's
when
cold.
the temperature gets younger than me,
You're
then
right.
I'm out.
I agree with that. And
So you're free
So you want summer all year long? Is that what you're saying?
for Greg's sake, yes.
Oh, okay.
have mercy. That's a few of the national headlines that are going. As we mentioned, we do have a lot that's been going on locally behind the scenes. We've had an arrest. Pretty big deal. We're going to tell you about some things that have gone on in our area. Don't rush off. We're coming back to tell you about that. Julie, you were just looking spiffy this morning. Let's look back
telling
at
you.
her outfit. Look at
She's
that.
got a meeting at the jailhouse.
Just lights up a room, doesn't she?
I mean, you could almost have one of those portraits made with that outfit on. It looks good.
I walked in and Greg immediately started laughing so much that you broke character. So I don't know why, but something is really.
We
But
just think
every
you look-
week,
we think you look very elegant this morning.
That's that word.
Yeah, we don't use it much.
All right, moving on.
We'll be right back.
I'll figure out.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
When it comes to enhancing your outdoor experience, you need a companion that can keep up. The Kubota RTV 850 Sidekick at Parrish is your ultimate utility vehicle for every adventure. From the deer camp, trail riding, or just working on the farm, the Sidekick delivers powerful performance and versatility. These units start at $15,499 cash and have a $2,000 rebate. Financing is available as low as $285 a month.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie. And well, it's Fun Friday. We've got Greg and Julia in the studio with us this morning as we begin this. We almost, and we say almost, had a car chase last night.
Almost.
What happened?
Well, the blue lights went on. Woo, woo. There's a broken tail light or something. Pull over. And the guy takes off. He jumps up to 80 miles an hour, and the police department goes, whoa, hold on, we're terminating. Bridge is out.
Bridge wasn't out.
The bridge was not out.
Let's say the bridge was still out.
Yeah.
You could hear it in the
Good point.
background.
I mean, no, but I mean,
why would you stop your? It doesn't
if
make
they
sense.
don't figure it out, you know it, so you know to stop before
you would
then.
stop also.
But then if they don't, then you'll be there to read or give emergency.
Go around there to pick up the pieces anyway.
Right. Well, the chase was terminated. The police officer came back. It would be some hour later as deputies thought, well, this is probably ran into the county and he's still getting it. Deputy came on down from, what is it, Fuel? What's the name of the store?
Mr. Fuel, over by the stockyard.
Mr. Fuel.
Made him a trip down through there, and lo and behold, what's that out there in the bushes? Upside down in water. The car upside down.
Oh, really? So it wrecked anyway?
Nobody was in it.
Nobody was in it. They ran from the scene. We don't know how they are, where they went. I'm sure that somebody could track a tag number, but they did escape into the darkness.
Car was probably stolen.
Yeah, I hadn't heard yet, but it was an older model Taurus.
Okay.
And if you take one, make sure that all the tail lights are working. Usually not a good thing.
You want to steal one that's still straight legal. Is that what
That's
you're saying?
correct. Because it gets police's attention when things aren't working properly. But to our knowledge, no one hurt because he's not there. They're gone somewhere. Meridian Fire Department had to come on out, and they worked on that, and we had to shut down Highway 80 for a little bit there to get the wrecker to reach over, to pull it back out. So if you were coming along last night and couldn't get home, that's why.
Okay.
So there you go. Any thoughts over there on that?
We're like, I'm waiting for it, Greg. Give him something. Okay.
I'm good.
You're good.
Right.
You're good. No
Somebody ran from the cops last night.
I'm
Wrecked.
still
Got
thinking
it.
about your analogy on make sure you steal a reliable car. I'm gonna walk around, kick the tires, and check.
Can I test drive this today?
Left turn signal, right turn signal. Blow the horn if you will. Yeah, we'll take it.
Y'all don't realize just how many cars are stolen here. It is like off the chart.
There's a lot repossessed too, but yes,
Legally stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
legally stolen. So we're just pointing out the facts there.
I'm really shocked mine hasn't been.
Did you leave the keys in?
Jack, I've struggled a little bit sometimes.
Accidentally left them in it?
Yeah, it's because I wear jackets and then I don't have to. So when I walk away, it just locks. But then I forget that I don't have the key on me. But I've done it in Jackson twice now.
Now Jackson will get it gone.
But I'm in Capitol Police.
Aren't they making a new movie over there, Gone in 30 Seconds?
Stop. But anyways, I know that makes me ignorant, but I'm really I'm defying some odds over here.
Well, most people don't think of it. We honestly all, and I'm sure it happened some back then, but we all grew up in an era where you had your key and you just left them hanging there, went in the store, done what you wanted, it'd be there when you come back.
If we go back to the square key and the little round key, and the round one unlocked the door and the square would crank the car, but modern technology has got us all spoiled to the...
It does.
Well, now, you're talking that, and you've got, I think it's International coming out with a truck.
Yeah.
And I think Cat's looking
John
at a
Deere's
truck.
coming out with one.
No frills. It's going to be that square. We're not doing any automated stuff. You don't have this fancy radio. You've got a dial speedometer, but you're talking a brand new truck run you $8,000. They said it's gotten so far out of hand with the expensive vehicles. Nobody's buying them. We're going to take it back down to manual. International and Cat right now.
I hadn't heard about that.
I haven't either.
I think John Deere's coming out with one too.
Manual windows.
Yeah, he's on to something. It's a no frills, fuel and fire vehicle.
Yeah,
Well, see-
4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, or
I mean, what's
diesel.
driving it?
It's a nice
People want
looking
it, or
truck.
is it cheaper, or
Well,
what?
people
Is that
want it 'cause
$8,000?
It looks good, but it's $8,000 for a
I
brand
can
new
ride an
vehicle.
ugly for $8,000.
Okay, that's what. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be
No
like a.
freedoms.
Y'all remember the commercial? Only Mazda's got a truck for $59.95.
I do.
And we thought that was something back then.
Yeah.
Try to find one now for $59.95.
I saw an
that
ad
runs.
this week. And do y'all remember the International Scout?
Yes.
Now, they're going to run that because it's going to be all electric when it hits the. You read and it looked good until you find out you can go about 200 miles and it'll quit in a mud hole and you'll have to walk back home.
Or any of those little projects you got downstairs, a Scout. I feel like you would have.
No.
one.
We got a C10. We got us a
Okay.
1986
Can't
Chevy.
really
Just waiting for
tell.
the battery to come in now.
That battery's all that's missing.
yeah.
And the
I'm
body.
no mechanic, but it
and the
looks like
body
it's
and the
missing a
rest of-
couple of
yeah.
more pieces.
We have so
It's a
far we
kit.
have 4 tires.
And a frame. And a frame.
Yep, that's all we got so far.
It's a kit like them models you used to buy as a kid.
It's a little windy today.
I'm not saying I can build a car, but I don't think that.
One day, y'all gonna take that back when you have to ride in a parade in it. One day.
Okay,
We don't know
In
when
our
that.
wheelchairs.
I'll push you
Okay.
Here's a good
We
thing.
get
down a
electric
hill.
ones.
We have to brag on the Meridian Police Department on this. They put in a lot of hours of trying to break a case, gather information, and they've finally done this. February of last year, February 29th, we had our very first murder in Meridian, Mississippi. It was a young girl. She was 17 years old. She was in the back seat of a car on the 2900 block of 25th Street. It's 29th Avenue, 25th Street. Gunfire would go out, and she was killed in the back seat of that car. After almost nearly a year, an arrest has been made. As we pull this up for you to take a look here, here it is. That who has been taken into custody, and again, you're innocent until proven guilty before a judge and peers, but charged with that. There is no bond at all on this. But interestingly, as you'll look at this, also facing other charges outside of murder. Shooting into a dwelling of an accident that occurred in November of last year in the 2400 block of Old Marion Road. So it didn't stop from earlier in the year, kept going. Also charged with an assault that occurred November the 12th in the 3700 block of 44th Avenue. That's 3 things that went on last year. This person is being charged
So they've
with.
been looking at him.
Yeah, they've been following, putting
following.
pieces. And that's why I say a lot of work went into that to get 3 charges all together. So a good job. I want to say thanks to the U.S. Marshals, East Mississippi Drug Task Force, MPD Gang Unit, and then the MPD force, the officers all together who worked hard to make
Yeah.
that happen.
Working as a team.
That's important to keep people like this off our streets, and let's hope they stay there. My, oh my, no bond at this point is what we're looking at on that. So that's one of the big headlines that we got out of yesterday. I was, Julie had told me she wanted me to come listen to somebody sing, and
Yeah,
I was
remember
coming.
his name.
And you don't know his name yet?
Oh gosh, no, I have it written down, but I think it's
You were
in my
down
car.
at Ty's?
A's Taste of Thai. Yes.
That's
You're at
close.
Ty's?
Yeah, Thai, you know,
It's
same
short.
thing.
It's short.
Do you eat there? Do you have a foldy over thing there?
No,
I've never been there.
it is excellent. Oh, man, it is
We might have
fine. It
to
does
take
a-
Scotty Ray.
I just don't know what. I just don't know what he would eat.
Chicken
No,
pineapple.
I feel like we could find him something.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
like-
We'll get her
Pad
something to
Thai.
fold it over.
Oh,
on.
my-
Like the new
Oh,
or
that
the rice.
pineapple. Mine's the pineapple
I love
chicken.
the pineapple
I like the
chicken.
red curry.
Yeah.
Now, I like pineapple deer sausage. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just
you'll
call
like
it
it.
that.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
But man, it is good, and it's made.
I get a
it's
level
all
5.
fresh.
I do
hand
too.
What?
Yeah.
And then I still want
I
the
love it.
sriracha
I
to
knew
go.
y'all
The-
were calloused
the
and had
fried
no
garlic.
feelings.
Oh,
Does
so good.
anyone see how important food is? It does.
we got really excited about A's.
I love A's, and they are good people.
Yeah.
Good people.
But
who was singing?
Tyler and I grabbed dinner there last night, and it was oh gosh, somebody tell me
Country or
he was country. He's 17, and he was just singing like he started out with Keith Whitley and George Strait, and I was like, Scotty
which
Ray
Keith
needs
Whitley
to come.
song was it?
I don't remember.
Oh,
10
look,
feet
we got
away.
comments. Let's see.
But I don't know. I thought he was good, and I said, Scotty Ray, come tell me if this kid's any good, because I'm not the expert on music, and so yeah. But you didn't answer me for a while, and then
Well,
I
I
wasn't
was-
waiting around too long.
You know he was chasing crimes.
This is what we were doing at that exact moment that Julia was out Tasting Country Music, we were here live on the scene of, what is this, a Challenger all messed up. Let me blow this up where you can see this a little bit better. This will be on Highway 495, and it's just had a complete remake, and it's totaled. But as we look at this, as we go down through there.
You hadn't got to say it for like 2 weeks.
What's that?
Can't park there.
Yeah, I can't park there.
All right, we're getting, is it
Total
Lack
out.
Thornton?
No, it's not Locke.
Locke?
I know
All right,
Locke.
what about a Clearman kid? I know a Culpepper that sings a lot.
No, it's not him.
But I
I
don't
know
know about a
him.
Clearman.
We'll have
Cason
to-
Holmes.
We'll have to find
Case
out.
and Holmes sounds right.
Maybe so.
Somebody look on A's Taste High page. I think they were doing it live from there.
Okay.
Anyways, but
So while that was going on, we had this
Yeah.
wreck here on 495. Now, there were no serious injuries. I spoke to his mom. She called while we were there on the wreck, and he was okay. He was banged up a little bit after that accident there.
I'm sure he would.
And that did happen last night. There were several that went on. As we go here to, well, let's go over to Owls. Let's go to Highway 19. We had a boo-boo there. And again, she watches us every morning, and she come up to me and she said, I have never in my life done this, ever in my life. She said, I thought the car had left in front of me, and I accidentally tapped it.
hey, it happens.
It does. Every one of us have done something like this in our lives. And as I told her, it was no big deal. That's what insurance is for. And as you can tell, it's not anything horrifying there in the wreck, but it does sting your pride to ever be in something like that.
Yep. I mean, we've all done the thing where somebody's like, "What the heck?" You know, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I was a little."
Can't believe I just pulled out of there. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
with a banana split trying
How
to
did
eat
I
it.
get home?
We've all done that. You know, you can even look at it on a four-wheeler or on a lawnmower to where you put it in gear and you think you're going forward and you let off the clutch and you go backwards and it just throws you. You ever done that?
It's been a while. I would have to say.
You weren't on the lawnmower last week. Come on.
I didn't. I didn't.
I've been on a Kubota going down the trail there and let off the gas.
And
just
The
kept going?
automatic brake stops and actually throw you out the windshield.
That will hurt.
Oh, I don't know who come up with that idea, but that was the worst invention I think.
they're available now with a bypass valve on that. They'll keep rolling.
Throw you out.
Coming up, we're going to tell you all about a stolen car from the southeast area. It was we'll call it a multi-county car chase. How about that? It was semi.
They didn't run to Clark County.
Did they run into Clark County?
Yes, they
Okay.
did.
They like it. They like it down there
They
if you
didn't call
run
it
it.
off, did they?
No call off. We'll tell you about it next here at the Scotty Ray Report.
Are you tired of your old car being a dud? Well, come into Kia Meridian, where we're giving up to $3,000 over KBB for your trade-in. We have interest rates as low as 0.9% and up to $3,000 in rebates. Come in at the Kia Meridian and drive off in a new car and a new you for the new year. Come see us.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. The tractors are rolling at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494. Drop in and see Keith, Cornbread, or Buttermilk. They've got a tractor that fits the need that you have. Whether it's a 26 horsepower, a 40, or bigger. Plus, they offer 0% financing for up to 96 months. Whether it's a part, a new tractor, 0% financing, or just simply a laugh. 601-626-8759, Highway 494 in Collinsville. That's Freeman Tractor. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with, well, the whole gang. It's Fun Friday.
Sorry.
As we mentioned, we had, a car chase yesterday. A car was reported from the southeast area there around the pharmacy. Somebody pulled up with someone. They got out. The person that they had given a ride to left with their car without telling them.
So you left a stranger in your running vehicle?
Well, they might have known them.
Oh.
There's a possibility there. And then off in Clark County, they went. The Clark County Sheriff's Department took that as a challenge.
They like it when you run down there.
Harold is on his way.
That's right.
Boogie there. And it would come back into Clark County and end up on Valley Road as the chase ran, and they went down a dirt road and jumped out the car.
Back into Lauderdale or Clark?
Lauderdale.
Okay.
They came back into Valley Road, into Lauderdale County, and everybody, highway patrols, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, is everybody on that little single road, dirt road there.
I don't know how many it's going to take.
But they
I
got
know how many
they're going to use.
But I do not know at this point, as when I talked to Ward about the issue, the person was still on foot running. And I don't think they've been caught at this point.
They should be tired by now.
Yes, they should. They should.
If he's still running, he's a pretty good fella.
Now,
One day I just started running.
Oh, man.
let me see if I can pull this up, because there was another, and I've got a better picture on my phone. Clark County Hot Topics, our friends down there reported. Actually, I was told about it at the same time, and there was right here. Let's go here to right there to Clark County
Road
114.
114.
And that joins in. That's going to be south of Equipment, is it not? If I am not mistaken, it is. It's south of there.
If they'll name a street, I could keep up with it. But those numbers just kind of throw me off.
I'm going to let Julia give a synopsis of this, because it is a very long story. You read the story.
I did. This is our visitors from Alabama.
The other wreck.
So apparently there was there a wreck? Did they wreck?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
they wrecked, but it appears that there was a domestic type of situation, and maybe there was a drug component involved. And the man leaves the scene and goes to a nearby residence,
right,
and gets a knife and comes back and in thoughts to attempt to assault the pregnant girlfriend, that he was having a domestic situation with.
Right.
And but there was maybe a deputy nearby that intervened.
Well, the fire coordinator.
Look at me being a news reporter.
He was also a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay. And
he saved the day.
Was able to save the day. And
Sheriff Todd Kemp says that this happened in DeSoto, so it would be south of Copeland.
Okay.
And the picture that I've got right there is just to the stop sign, and I don't know. I did not have a chance to put this up.
But they did have a wreck, because you can barely see the vehicles.
That's it in the bushes back there.
Oh, that's what it was.
I got kind of tied up
Y'all
in
can fill in the
something
blanks.
else.
That's what we call a big old mess where I'm from.
There's a different word for that we can't use. But somebody was taken into custody by the
It
Clark
sounds
County
like
Sheriff's
somebody
Department.
needs to dry out and get their life
Just a little
together.
bit.
And I even heard something about somebody hadn't been to bed in a week.
That's
Oh, that's
what that
tough to
looks
do
like.
that.
What keeps you up at night?
Well, you're the one that doesn't sleep, Scotty Ray.
All right, so Sheriff Todd Kemp says Greg will know where this was because we're going to
Gappy's Fish Camp.
Food.
Okay.
I was being polite. I didn't want to interrupt, but that's the first when he said DeSoto. I said that's going to be by Gappy's.
Okay. Well, now that it's associated with hush puppies, he can point us to the
That's
right
right.
direction.
Thank you, Sheriff Todd. I appreciate that.
See, that's the great thing about this show. We can identify accidents with restaurants.
That's right.
You know where they are.
Yeah.
We're really good at this. We can play this game all day.
So impressive.
Nearest hush puppy.
A little controversy on my page, and I didn't see this coming.
What'd you do?
I didn't.
Yeah,
Tate,
you did throw a stink
Tate,
bomb in.
I did not think that this would be. There were so many comments, and I would.
It was still an order from the governor.
The governor has issued that the flags will fly at full staff on Monday for the inauguration of Donald
But then they're
Trump,
going back to half staff.
Right.
to honor Jimmy Carter.
Correct.
Correct.
I honestly do not see this as a once coming in and then we go back to honoring.
I don't have a lot of time.
What's the
What are
president?
people upset about?
Because the flags are being lowered and Jimmy has passed away and they're
Well, it's standard protocol 30 days after the passing of a president, right?
right.
Correct.
But they're going
Okay.
to raise them for Donald going
So are they
in during that
upset
time.
about it going up, or
Yes,
they're upset
going
about
up.
it being?
No,
Going
they're
up.
upset because they're taking away from Jimmy to bring
Okay.
in Donald Trump, and then it goes back down.
Okay.
You usually go to by president on these things. So what has been done
Yeah.
in the past? This has not happened.
Yeah.
that we know of.
So if
did
it
they
hasn't
do it
happened, then
before?
it's at the discretion of the executive leadership, and that's the
Correct.
decision he made.
State by state.
And again, I honestly just didn't see this being a controversy anywhere.
Yeah.
Most southern states are doing it. Florida, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi are all
Maybe I'm
wanting
a
to
bad
raise the
person. I don't
flag.
have time to be upset
it
about
goes
stuff
back
like
to
this.
that sensitivity that
Yeah,
we
I
got
don't-
going on. That's
Go
so
to time out.
sensitive. Yeah.
I just
Okay.
If
I have
that's
a
all
question.
you got to worry about,
go volunteer at the dog
no
shelter. They
joke.
need you.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Somebody help me here. Now, I'm not poking fun at this. I want to say this.
Sure.
That's like when you start out and say, I don't want to be rude, but
Yeah.
Well, let me give an example
I
of the
be
first one. Do y'all remember a few months ago when we had the ribbon cutting for North Hill Street that was already a street, but we done a ribbon cutting for it anyway?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? And I stood there
Scotty
and I
Ray?
went around and said, there's a road here, and it's been here. It's nice that it got repaved, but it's not a grand opening. That's how I felt. But we had a grand opening yesterday, a re-grand opening. And maybe I've just missed the mark on this. We had a re-grand opening of Wendy's yesterday also, which has been open, and it just got refurbished.
all right.
Explain.
I'm
it.
gonna
change
say
ownership?
it. They marketed it as a re-grand opening and a We Love Meridian. They gave out a whole bunch of free
they did?
Wendy's for the year. They gave out free Frosties for the year, and it was sort of just like an appreciation day. And people like Wendy's. They remodeled the inside of the restaurant, so they were opening back up, and a lot of people showed up for
Oh,
it.
they did.
So
It was a crowd.
I understand the confusion, and I had conversations with other people. They ain't hurting nobody.
Well, I didn't say they hurt anybody. I was just saying I didn't understand it. But that you're saying just because it was refurbished.
If they wanted to
and-
do, well, they wanted to do like a Meridian thing, and they gave away a bunch of stuff and kind of wanted to have like a little celebration of like, hey, we're back open.
They wanted the publicity.
And,
Okay.
But they gave away a whole bunch of stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so,
Was
that's
that
a
walking
consideration.
around Frosty that I saw?
Yes, Frosty was walking around, and I had my picture made with
Mm-hmm. And when
Wendy.
else are you going to get Wendy and Frosty out?
Also,
That everyone actually loves.
the day before Louisville, y'all are watching. We had a big, I think, re-grand opening there in Louisville. Also, the day before. So,
It's a marketing
That
thing.
looks like Wendy in the band.
that store had been there since 2007, and they came here in the 70s, if I remember right. We were kids. That
Yeah.
look at that face.
Where's the beef?
Yes, we remember that well. But maybe that shed some light
Y'all don't
to
pick
everybody
on 'em.
about that situation, because that has been a question I have been hammered on over and over and over.
I get it.
So we set the
But-
story straight.
Yeah.
You don't agree with it, though.
No, I just think like that's fine. If somebody wants to do a re-grand opening and invite people and give away stuff, then good for them.
Okay, all right. We'll move on
Not
there.
hurting nobody.
We'll talk about, we got warming stations going to be opening up that we really need beginning next week. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's right around the corner. We're going back in history. We'll see how well Julia does in her challenge.
I'm
this
not playing.
Already copping out.
Y'all are already being mean to me.
We'll be right back. Let's face it, accidents are going to happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see my friends and professionals at Chet's Paint and Body Shop in Center Hill. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Looking for a deal you can't pass up? Right now, drive off in a quality used car for just $299 down and only $299 a month here at Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Meridian. That's right, good reliable cars packed with features at a price you'll love. $299 down, $299 a month. Look, I'm not kidding. This is a real offer that our customers have taken advantage of for years now. Come see us today, Johnson Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Meridian.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn.
It's
Welcome
us.
back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie.
Yeah.
Somebody made a comment that if it weren't for Julia, we wouldn't even make it through a Friday. She pulls us along, it said.
She's not even with us right now.
Well, she's doing something important. Coffee.
Oh.
We don't have one of those little stewardess. How do you say that word? Stewardess?
Stewardess?
Yes.
So she's bringing us all coffee?
No.
No.
Oh.
She is only taking care of her own coffee. We do have a lot more headlines of what's going on in the community that we're going to be coming back to in just a moment. Now we need to look down this. Let's go back to 1899. This was the guy that, well, the president liked this car so much, he used it. First one that was ever used as a Secret Service. Yep.
Cadillac.
But who was
it
whose car
was.
was it? Whose car was it? They're still looking for his vault. We found an empty one.
The Cadillac.
He was a gangster. Let's just go ahead
In
and say
1899?
18 was when he was born.
I ain't got a. I don't-
Yeah, you do.
Al Capone. I
There you
don't
are.
know.
There you are. You guessed it. But of course, they would take his car in one of those raids for taxes, and they would give it to the president at the time as the first car that was protecting.
Okay. All right. I follow
Because
the
it was
story now.
Bulletproof.
I wasn't paying attention for a minute.
He wanted it. Back in 22, this young lady was born. She would make it to 99 years young. Everybody would plan her 100th birthday, and she didn't quite make it. What a lovely lady she was. Anybody
I knew
remember
it was going to be
Betty
Betty White.
White.
I love her. She's really funny. She's smart.
And she was probably, 30 now that we find out when she played the Golden Girls?
No, not that young. But have you seen where they put like modern hair on the Golden Girls and like how different they would look?
I have not seen that.
I mean, I'll send it to you.
Do that.
Yeah, because it's because they were not that old. I mean, they were like 40s and stuff.
They were,
Early
too
50s.
young in real life.
Yeah,
to be in the situation
right.
they were
So
in.
would you see a remake of that show? Do you see a remake of that show coming?
I would watch. I'd probably try to. I don't know.
And it was a pretty good show. Kind of dealt with what the elderly go through on a
Y'all
struggle.
should actually do it. Somebody asked if Greg and Odie have bunk beds here, and so y'all could do like a men's Golden Boys. It'd be.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Fire
But
pole.
1899, he didn't have his car because they were by horses. But that's when he was born.
That's right.
Okay.
He was born that year.
Yeah.
This is probably his most famous line. This man done so many shows, TV shows. He was in Field of Dreams, but that would be what he's
He
remembered
was
for.
Darth Vader.
Nope, that ain't what he's remembered for. It would be, this is CNN.
Well, that too.
James Earl Jones was born on this day back in 31. And, they said
I
that he
think
didn't
Darth
even...
Vader is what he's known for more than
that's the
that. But that's
biggest
just
thing.
me.
He was the king in Coming to America.
Oh, that was probably his.
Jiffy Jefferell or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Wasn't he the voice in one of those Lion King movies?
Yeah. Was he Scar
Mufasa?
or Mufasa?
Mufasa, I believe.
Yeah, like the father,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
spoke to him. Yeah.
But of course, he was the guy that, what's his name, went and picked up in Field of Dreams. It was a writer and it rode with him in that little VW. He was a great actor, but that voice, and he even made a comment about that CNN thing that he didn't even remember doing it.
Oh, really?
It was
That's
passed
funny.
along to him as just a voiceover, and he didn't know he did it.
And there it was.
And it stuck. It
He
did.
has a huge place down at the Max that features him.
Oh, I thought you meant he was staying down there. I was going to say,
I don't think so. He might be. You just don't see him.
all right, let me see if y'all two can sing this. Fly like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
Nobody's
She can
fast.
talk.
I was like, I know one.
Muhammad Ali.
There he is. He was born on this day back in 42, and he, you give it credit of him being probably one of the best boxers there was outside of Rocky.
Oh, yeah.
He was good at what he did.
Oh, he was in the Sandlot.
And Touched by an Angel, which I loved that show. Remember, he was one of the angels.
He sure was. Touched by an Angel. We got to give thumbs up on that.
Yeah, that was a heartwarming story every week that you got to watch. I loved that.
But was that better, or was Highway to Heaven better? Man, I really liked
I
Michael
didn't really
Landon.
watch too much of that. I did watch them.
Man, he'd come to
But
town
every now and
hitchhiking,
then.
and he always done something good to help a family. And
You know, they did say there for a while Michael Landon was going to visit somebody in the hospital, and I think it was a family member, and they asked him not to come to the hospital through the front door. They will come get him and bring him up the back way because some of the older people that were in there was seeing him walking down the hallway, and it would freak them out.
Really?
And so they said, look, we'll bring you in a back way.
Anybody here as a teenager go out to College Park and go to a movie and pay, what was it, $4?
Something
That
like
you paid to
that.
go in. And there was a little show called Porky's on.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all remember that movie?
No.
You didn't see Porky's?
No.
It was really funny. And
I did
can't
go to
eat-
that movie theater, though.
Do what now?
I did go to the College
did?
Park movie theater. I
I
remember it.
remember
Wasn't it like?
Herbie.
It was where
Round.
the,
Yeah.
yeah, it was right there where the post office is.
Do y'all remember Herbie sitting out front when the movie came to town?
Yeah.
The little car sat out there. They must have had a ton of those to move those around. But this movie would come out. She would be not the hot gym teacher, but the other gym teacher that I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. We'll just show a picture. Nancy Parsons. She identified something.
Ooh.
She did handle that.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
I can't say
We're
Andy
gonna- we need
Kaufman.
buzzers. Yeah.
Andy Kaufman. We need buzzer.
Where we just tell you to move along to another
Okay.
subject.
Andy
We don't like
Kaufman.
one.
Y'all remember him?
Show.
Taxi. Y'all remember him? He couldn't speak very well English, but he was-
Luca? Was that his name?
I
on
think so.
Taxi?
Do an impersonation.
I don't
Help
know.
me. I don't know what it sounds like, Greg. Tell me.
I'm just
You know,
trying to
that
remember
show
his
was
name.
pretty funny if you think back on that. It had little Danny DeVito in it.
I just couldn't watch it neither.
1953, this car would be unveiled. It has become one of the most iconic sports cars there are.
Corvette.
There you are. It began today in 53.
Isn't that the one they jacked up and put in reverse trying to get the miles
That was a
off of it?
Porsche.
Was it a Porsche?
As a Porsche. Yeah. But if you've got one of those, and something about the split tri-window is worth more, am I right? Anybody know that?
That's what I was reading this morning.
See? You got the same magazine I do.
Yeah.
Man, I was feeling all alone. Let's see what else happened today. I almost want to go to the freaky end of the world there to name this next guy. When he came out, he was kind of level-headed. Sweet Little 66. He had a huge song, and the album would be one of the first to sell 6 million in country music. And then he would be here and would go, "Whoop," as we go back to remember Steve Earle being
That
born
might
on
have
this
been-
date back
that
in
might have
55.
So he went
His
the
worst
same
clue of
way
the
that
morning.
country did.
Yeah. He
Did that make any sense to you?
No.
Okay.
You know, he wrote a song about Mississippi. Change your flag, or I ain't coming. And everybody said, "Don't come, please." 19.
Well, since we changed it,
We're not
everybody
going.
Next.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Next.
1957.
Oh, this guy's funny.
It's hard to fill the shoes of Richard Dawson. There's just the best clue that I can give.
Steve Harvey.
He is. He's on radio, and he might have made a mistake one time announcing the winner or something.
He's really funny.
Sure did. And it was the wrong one.
He's just
Well, they
naturally
gave him
funny, doesn't try to be.
And he earned it. If
Yeah.
you read his backstory, I mean, that guy lived in his car. He did everything. He worked for nothing.
Isn't he the one
Try
that
to
when
make
his
it.
kids were like, "We're rich," he's like, "No, y'all are not
I'm
rich.
rich.
I'm
You're not."
rich."
Yeah.
But it was, Greg will remind me, wasn't he down to like his last $20 and he
He
got a
got his car.
flight to wherever for an interview, and that's all he had? I mean, you got to give that man credit, y'all.
Yeah.
And he was raised, I don't know if they adopted him or just took him in. But he had, I guess you could say, foster parents that raised him and pushed him to be where he's at.
This next guy, this is not my kind of funny. I know that the millions of you are going to say, "No, this is my guy." He's just
Millions are watching now.
not- There could be. They could
Potentially.
Be. They could be.
Well, we're all over the world.
Yeah.
He ain't funny. He's goofy. I don't like.
See, I'm with Greg on
And
this.
if I'm flipping, looking for something to watch, if he's in it, I usually keep going.
It's like those elephant movies. Which one of those Pet Detective things? That was
Yeah.
freaky.
I think for like teenagers, it's probably more
Yeah.
appealing.
The
The
only-
Mask was
The Mask
that
was
was
pretty
that was
good. I
an
did
original.
watch it.
All right, give me
Yeah.
the name of this one. He done one that I could watch. He was an attorney. And
A
all of
Liar,
sudden,
Liar.
That was it. He couldn't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he played a normal part. But outside of that, I'm just not a Jim Carrey fan. No. He's broke, by the way.
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah. What's the one set in Seaside?
The who?
Huh?
The set in Seaside, Florida.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that
Somebody
one.
will tell me in a minute.
As we go back to the Cosby Show, another one of the girls that were on there has a birthday today. Do y'all remember Joseph Phillips? It's
that
actually
her or
him. I couldn't find a picture of him alone. Don't Don't do that, Greg.
What you got to say?
Nothing.
Yeah, just a little boo-boo there.
Well, what'd y'all think about Dumb and Dumbest?
That wasn't...
yeah.
He wouldn't...
You
brother,
would
I
like
would-
that, Odie. Look at him. You're dressed a little like you're one of the colors of the.
I would
suit.
rather watch a test of the emergency broadcast system than to
We're gonna have
watch
to get
Dumb
you
and
some more
Dumber.
one-liners.
That's not funny. It's just
wasn't.
dumb. It's
I
stupid.
listened to that, and the jokes were like...
It was so stupid you couldn't help. I mean, it's like really.
No, Undercover Brother was funny now. Not that.
Now
that was
that
not-
dog van was pretty cool.
The Who family?
The dog van that they drove.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that he did his grooming in. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Cheech and Chong was funny when it comes to that kind of stuff. Those two were
The
funny.
hot dog truck
Let me see your license, sir. It's
on the bumper.
They were funny.
Oh,
There's
man.
just... This was also one of those things that was not my type. There's bound to be somebody out there. Did you ever watch The Other Guys? They didn't play this song there, but I almost feel like they should have.
The other guys?
You didn't watch that movie?
I don't
No.
think so.
Had Will Ferrell and the guy that was in Shooter. What's his name?
Oh, when they were cops.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
The Other Guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, where he plays the Little River Band, he's going to chase bad guys, and he puts in the Little River Band, and you're like, dude, what? Who would do that? This would fall under that same category. Who listens to this?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it? Have you ever caught yourself singing along to this? I write the songs. Barry Manilow was number one in 1976. Yeah, no comment in
I
the
feel like
entire
there was a
room.
short.
I never got that out of the Little River Band. But
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
mind.
because it was horrible.
Okay.
You talking about the Truman Show?
The Truman Show.
I never watched it.
Barry
But-
Manilow was in
True.
that?
We're going back to Jim Carrey. The Truman Show was. It's an interesting storyline. I like it, and he's not goofy there.
he played
That
an
is Jim
adult
Carrey,
role.
right?
I couldn't watch that. I
Yeah.
saw about 10 minutes of that, and I got up and walked out.
It was a camera that followed him around or
Yeah.
something?
Kind of
Well, it was a Hollywood studio adopted him at birth, and so he had fake parents that were everybody in the town was fake, and it was like a reality TV show where you could watch him, and he had no idea, and then he started figuring it out. Like he went to a fake school, the students were actors in like everything. He was the only.
Greg saved me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, it's interesting. You know,
Dong.
This
is how I feel when y'all start talking about things from your childhood.
1981, this guy would come along. He would get his start by Elvis. Elvis would go, let me record one of your songs. And it worked so well, it would move right on along, and he would get his own recording contract. And it would start out and have a little, I love a rainy night, such a beautiful night. As
Ronnie
we go
Mills
back.
out. Eddie Rabbit.
Eddie Rabbit had a number
Place.
one today.
Eddie Rabbit.
You would see him on Solid Gold Country Night. No, it was Solid Gold Saturday Night. It wasn't country in it. Y'all remember that show with the Solid Gold dancers? No? Really? It was on ABC. We had
gotta
3
get those
channels.
crickets
I mean,
playing in
what?
the
Yeah, what
background, get a
is?
butt-
Like, what's your viewership right now? How many people are watching this?
1971, an outlaw is what I think this guy kind of qualifies as an outlaw. It's a shame for somebody to be this talented to waste 90% of what they can do, because
Well,
he's got
he's-
talents that are just under. But his mouth.
Him
number
and
one.
Hank are close.
They
Him
are.
and Trump are close.
But he has a
And he
tendency
got
to say
music that Greg would never listen to.
true.
Kid Rock.
There we go. But if he would just change his
I wanna
language
be
a little bit there.
cowboy.
And he played in Joe Dirt.
I don't know what Joe Dirt is.
He's not one of my
But you watched
Playlist.
it
He's
3 times.
he's got
No,
that sweet what's the Sweet Home Alabama song there?
Yeah.
All summer long, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Outside of that, I can't listen to his rap. It's just not gonna happen there. Did we mention 75? And I can't remember the theme song, but Beretta premiered. As we go back a little bit there, Beretta.
I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah, most
He just
everybody
got
else
out of court a couple years ago.
thought he died
Yeah. You know, he stayed in court for murder for a long time.
against his wife.
Yeah.
It would be 1986. This young redhead from Oklahoma would join the Grand Ole Opry.
Reba McEntire.
There you go.
Oh,
Doesn't even
Reba.
get any better than Reba, does it?
Now, that's a good TV show, too.
It
That
is.
is a good TV show.
Yeah, who
It
keeps
is.
the X?
It's not very believable, but it's a good TV show.
She also would have another number one in 1987. Reba would come out with, do y'all remember this song? What Am I Gonna Do About You?
Yeah.
Woo! The neighbor fixed the roof where it leaked. Boy, it's just good stuff there. Can't beat it. As we move along to 1990, I almost forgot about this. Y'all remember a little war we got into?
Oh, I was serving during that time.
Operation Desert Storm would come
Right
back.
after Desert Shield.
Now, this was the one where we were after Saddam. Is that correct? Am I wrong?
Nope.
I can still visualize. Y'all remember that when the soldiers put the rope around his statue
And
in that
pulled it
town
down?
square?
Yeah.
I do remember that. Let's see. 1994. I'm trying to keep a straight face on this one.
Oh gosh.
We had, to my knowledge,
What did
had
Daisy
never had
do?
a sitting president
I did
accused.
not.
Bill Clinton.
Was that 94? Oh, that was
Paul
Paul
Jones.
That was
Jones.
the
Okay,
second.
I would. Yeah, I'm
Just hitting the
thinking.
blues
Yeah,
there.
I get them mixed up.
Yeah.
But her reputation was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
They had a war room that Hillary set up that went after this woman.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, she was destroyed.
That's how that goes a lot of time.
Just to See You Smile went number one back in 1998. Y'all remember Tim McGraw's song there?
Greg's
You
favorite
don't. He
actor.
didn't like. I like Tim McGraw.
Anybody, this guy was just such a part of it. Rambo, anybody watch Rambo?
Absolutely.
Nope.
You remember the Colonel?
Yeah.
He passed away today, back in 2003.
There you go.
I really like that guy. What did he tell the sheriff of that little town? You've started a war. I can't remember.
You're not going to win or something.
It was a great line. I just don't remember it. Did we all?
Man.
Did we all not sit back and we love some Chuck Norris? I think 98% of the audience are probably Chuck Norris fans.
What's wrong with the other two?
We're investigating that.
We're trying to block them.
CD, do y'all remember him from the TV show?
Yeah, the old guy that owned the bar.
Yep. He would pass away today back in 2004.
Yeah.
He played in that movie Cocoon.
Did he?
You remember that? The old
that
people
the
were at the
doggy?
nursing home and they jumped in the pool.
I don't think so.
I don't know what it was, and they got younger feeling.
Yeah, I never watched that.
Yeah. See.
I do know that it was a show, but I didn't. But boy, CD, that was, and we've lost Trevette too, y'all.
Yeah.
Can y'all believe that?
He was big on Matlock.
He was on Matlock and a few other things. He was really good at what he does. Now, it's a sad day. Did y'all think they ever went out on a date?
Well,
Go
of
back
course
to the
they did.
Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch is what
And
we're
they
going.
talked about, I've made dinner for you. I've got a date tonight, she said.
What now?
Sam
the Butcher.
Yeah.
Passed
He
away
was
today.
also the butcher on one episode of Andy Griffith and Barney. He was going to whoop Barney.
That's
Remember
the picture
that?
at the bottom down there. Next time I see you in uniform, I'm going to whoop you.
And Barney wore the uniform day and night.
yeah, so he wouldn't get whooped.
He was sweeping the street, and Barney didn't like it, sweeping the sidewalk out into the street.
Sure was. But
See, that's called knowledge.
I mean, you can, if you ever need a synopsis of an Andy Griffith episode,
He's
you got one call right here.
the day that you played hooky on us and Sheriff Todd Kemp stayed over, me and him was sitting here talking, and we were talking about training and officers, and he said it. He said the best training that you can ever give an officer is to make them watch the Andy Griffith Show. It teaches you how to handle situations. Andy was great at it, and Todd is right on that. Sometimes you have to use a little Andy instead of throwing somebody in jail. You got to use your brain. And Andy was like perfect at that.
Okay.
It's a very educational show.
But can you imagine, like, first day on the job, we need you to watch this disc set of Andy Griffith's show. I love that.
When these officers say, could you step out of the car? Could you step out of the car? Could you please step out of the car? Could you step out of... We need to get back to where they say step out of the car, and they don't, and they grab them by the hair of the head and yank them out of the car. That's being a cop.
I don't think they let you do that anymore.
Well, they don't, because somebody's safe space is going to get invaded.
You don't do that anymore.
But Andy Griffith is it can be used educate good parenting, how to treat people, how to treat animals. I mean, it was something for everybody in there. It's education.
Haven't churches also used this as Bible studies?
So Sunday school, it seemed like we had a series one time that was based Andy Griffith, and you'd watch skit, different scenes, and then you would go over. There's a lot of good to it.
See, look here, the things that we learn, no matter how old you are. We'll be right back. More to come as we travel along on this early. What is today? It's Friday.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt, whether you need work pants or slacks for church. And nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From bogs to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Welcome back. I just had that flash of Barney in my head. There's always a little Barney somewhere. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. Hey, we wanted to say this is coming up out at Southeast. If y'all can help out on January 22nd, they're going to have a blood drive there to help out there from 9 until 2. If you'd like that. Seniors are donating, and if you'd like to help, contact Southeast. They'll tell you a whole lot more about it. You got something special coming up at your church, don't you?
I do. Night to Shine. You've pushed that. Okay, I hope I do this right because there's a lot of wonderful people involved in it, but I'm not indicating that I'm one of them. But it is at my church, but it is a community event, and so it's held on the same night all over the world, and it's for people with special needs, and they dress up in formal wear, and they are paired up with caregivers, and they have this big, fantastic night. You can go to Night to Shine Meridian Facebook page. There's a lot of opportunities for sponsorships. There's still some spots open for guests, so if you have somebody, I think it's 14 years and older is what it's supposed to be. They have vouchers for to help with formal wear costs, and but if you want to get involved as a volunteer, there's food donation, I think, opportunities, sponsorship opportunities if you want to come as a guest. So it's a really big event, and for us to have one in Meridian is a really big deal. So if you want to get involved in that, you should check it out.
And that's the site that you can visit there, correct?
Yeah. And they'll tell you. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to give back, and it's a great organization. Tim Tebow Foundation is who does it, but it's happening all over the world.
Now he's not going to be here in person.
No, but it's a big event. They started planning this months and months ago, so it's a big deal. A lot of people put a lot of work into it.
Tell me this, because I don't know the answer to this.
Okay, I hope I know the answer too.
And maybe you don't. Maybe somebody else watching knows this. Tim Tebow, what got him to helping these children like this? Was it somebody in his family? Somebody he knew?
I don't know.
What triggered this?
I don't know. I think he's a Christian.
He's just a good guy.
But I think everybody kind of picks their passion for some reason, and you need people that champion this cause, and that's what he's chosen. And I think that it's it's a wonderful
Jesus
one.
Jesus Christ over the NFL.
He sure
did.
Yeah,
and not many will say that.
Somebody asked what church is Central United Methodist Church in downtown Meridian is the host,
kind of directly across from the post office.
Yeah. Yes.
Catty corner.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. Huge.
We got that. Yes, it's the whole block. Yeah. But that's the host church for the community event.
If you've got a walk up there. It's uphill.
There's a parking garage with handicap spots for you, Scotty Ray.
I got out of breath last time I walked up there.
There's a lot of different.
You can go past it and walk downhill.
Yeah, that you can.
And then get somebody to move your car to the other end. And
Yeah.
It was
both
fun.
ways in the snow.
And I did. And let me say, I had a wonderful time speaking at that church. It was great. It was a big crowd, and I thoroughly
That's a fun
enjoyed it.
group that you spoke to. Yeah.
So we appreciate the invite of being invited. We had a fatal crash that we need to talk about. This would happen in Jasper County. As the names are released of this, we had 2 people that lost their lives in this wreck. I would try to pronounce it, but I would not do it justice. So you can read the story there. It was 2 ladies from Laurel area, and then one other person was life flighted from the accident. It was a head-on accident. We send out condolences to that family. What a tragic way for a January. Now, Odie, I have to ask this because we have horrible weather, freezing temperatures coming on Sunday night. Are we going to fire back up those warming stations?
Yeah, it's going to get back going again, and it's a warming station. It's not for you to camp out all day long every day, but it is going to provide a place for you to come, get you some soup, get you some coffee, get you a place that you can stay inside, get out of this cold weather. But there again, it's got rules. You got to be in by
7 o'clock.
By 7 o'clock. And no drinking, no drugs, none of that. If you had to be,
you better be nice to your wife, Greg.
Right there, then
That's right.
They'll let
say
you.
it's 9 or 10 o'clock. Usually, you got to have an officer bring them, or someone from a hospital bring them. But it is to help get you out of the cold weather where you're not sleeping outside, as long as you follow the rules.
And what we're talking about, Monday night, Sunday night, 18, Monday night, 21, 17 on Tuesday night, 20, 22, 28, 28 is what we're expecting next week. It's going to be rough there.
Nope.
And let's talk about this because we don't want any of those little furry critters left outside.
Hey, take care of them pets. Get an extra bale of hay. Be careful if you're going to use a drop light or something in a dog house, because be mindful of what you're doing, but try to get them pets inside if at all possible.
Yeah, they're cold.
Let me ask this, because you were Smokey the Bear at one time.
Yes, sir.
He was. Mississippi Forestry Commission.
Do it for me.
You too. 29.75 years.
See, look at there. Knows a little bit. I know that these still exist. Years ago, and it was more common to where people had to take the match and light their heater to get that pilot. We want you, when we say check on the elderly, we mean that. Sometimes a thermostat doesn't work.
That's right.
Make sure that they're okay and they're not sitting in the dark freezing.
That's
during these
exactly
nights.
right. Exactly right. Now's time to get them gas tanks filled up, topped off.
Your emergency heat, if you're using gas as an emergency heat, you need to be running it this weekend. Make sure it works.
That's right. That's right.
Now, again, as we touch on this, and I know it sounds like to some folks it's a broken record, but let's talk just a moment of space heater safety between you two.
No extension cords.
It's a great piece of equipment, a great appliance if used correctly, and you've got to use it directly into an outlet. Don't use extension cords.
It's not a clothes dryer.
It's not a clothes dryer. It's not a clothes warmer. Don't put anything near it. 3 feet around. It is great for supplement heat. These are not meant to heat
Watch small
home.
children and pets around space heaters.
Yeah. If it's an old one, look at getting a new one because they've got the anti-tip devices in them now. They have thermal cutoffs in them now. It's worth. They're inexpensive, but definitely be careful. And generators, we want to touch on generators because if you got a generator, if we lose power, don't just plug one into an outlet so you can run different outlets in the house because you're going to be backfeeding back to the power company. And if that line is down and off and our power company comes to work on that line, you don't want them getting electrocuted. It will backfeed. And it's your transformer. It takes a huge load of electricity and transforms it down to 220 where we can use it. Well, it will take 220 and will zap it way up where it can fatally hurt someone.
And
So
Julie,
get
we want to
everybody
remind
careful.
everybody not to stick your tongue to a flagpole.
Yes, that too.
Anytime during this.
Oh, I have a PSA.
Okay.
It's called the 3 P's of political sign placement.
And what is that?
Private property with permission.
Oh.
And that is, so we got a lot of signs going out, and I'm genuinely, community development will come around and pick them up sometimes if they're in. You can't put signs in the right of way, and the power pole, 2 more P's, is a good indicator of where that is if you're unsure. So you want to be behind the power pole, and you want to be on private property only, and you need permission to put that sign there. So some little tips from me for our new people that are running for public office.
Talking about politics.
We got a new person that has dropped their name into the hat for Mayor of Meridian. Here we go. As we got this message yesterday. Jimmy Copeland formally announcing his candidacy for Mayor of Meridian. He's got the Copeland Center downtown Meridian. That's on just off of 4th Street, isn't it, Julia? Isn't that on the left there?
Yes.
So
I don't know if I got the street right, but yeah, it's on Front Street and
No, it's one over. It's on 4th Street. It's one up from
the Copeland Center.
Yeah, it's on the back
Well, it takes
side
the
of
whole
Front
block.
Street.
I mean, he's the whole block. So
if you'd like to read more about it, we've got his entire story here of who he is. We posted this last night, getting a lot of comments on that. Read that.
He'll be running as an independent, so you won't see his name on the ballot till the general election. And right now we don't have a Republican that is announced, so he would face off with the winner of the Democrat primary.
Have we gotten, to my knowledge, right now we have Jimmy Smith and we also have Percy Bland. I have not been told of anybody else that is.
I have not either.
Formally. Now there was a lot of talk earlier of a lot of different names that I haven't seen, and you've only got less than 15 days now to go do that.
Yeah.
The 31st is
Some people like to go the last day, and that's good. Heads up, if you go the last day, you're not going to Miss Jonna Jill's office. You're going to the
new courthouse.
No, you're going to City Hall because it's a municipal election. There are people that have shown up at the wrong place. You are not qualifying like you would for most other elections. There, you're going to City Hall.
Okay.
So if you're doing it the last day, make sure you're at the right spot.
Now, also, we want to remind everybody that come Monday, it's going to be a holiday. It's going to be the 20th on top of this. Martin Luther King Day is going to be celebrated, and there's going to be business offices and schools closed throughout the area. So keep that in mind. Your normal banking stuff will not happen on Monday. So if you need a little extra cash or something to that nature, if you need to make a deposit, make sure to do that. Or I don't think my bank is open on Saturday, one of the ones I use. So make sure that you get your business taken care of today or tomorrow for sure, because you will be without come Monday if you need to have a little
and
cash
then be careful for Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're keeping an eye on that with our weather change.
And again, we're watching all of this. The possibility of snow. There's a minute chance there Tuesday, minute at this point. We expect the National Weather Service to do an update later today, probably. What is it, 10:30, 11 o'clock? They normally...
10 o'clock. Well, it's been messing up. And the one we had yesterday got cut off. They had some technical problems. We've changed our focus now from snow to ice and freezing rain, which is something that we don't want to see. Freezing rain, as it falls, hits these tree limbs, turns to ice, and...
They get heavy.
They get heavy, and that's what brings these limbs down, and that's what we're scared about. So that's what our focus has changed to now.
I bring Julia back to the forefront on this. As I look at headlines across the state of Mississippi, there's a big push on this, and I think we need this done. You've seen this in your tenure of working with government and agencies, and especially here in Meridian. There's a big push for regulating unlicensed care homes, like people that care for people in their homes, and they have 2 to 3. And it's a big push across the state. What are you hearing in Jackson on this? Could this actually become a law to where it becomes more regulatory on this, or have you heard anything at this point? I
haven't heard any. I don't know what's going on right now. I haven't kept up with that specifically for this legislative session. I do know that Representative Billy Adam Calvert, that's something that we've talked about in Meridian with some issues that we've had locally. I think one of the places that I've seen that it needs to be certain agencies are paying or supplementing these companies. That's why they're doing it. And so I think that's if you have a contract with someone where you're paying them X amount a day to assist in the care of this person, you're receiving tax dollars,
right,
then there needs to be some oversight of how to make sure that we're getting what we're paying for as a taxpayer. I like my taxes going to take care of things like this for people that truly need it and don't have any other way. But that we need to just make sure that the contracts
Medicare,
are
Medicaid. You're going under license and you're being strictly looked at and everything. Insurance, like I'm dealing with Mama. Those are licensed places, but there's a lot of them that open up their homes and say, I'll charge you, instead of your $3,800 that you're paying over here, I'll watch for $2,000 a month and feed, and we don't have any regulation. And a lot of people that's the only thing they can afford, and that's all they've got coming in, they pay that, and these have no regulations because they're not taking any form of government money or insurance money.
Well, I don't know what the official, what they're trying to do, but I do know that locally you do have somebody in leadership that's something that's definitely on their radar, and they've been working with some people.
Tell me if y'all remember this. Am I imagining this back in the 80s? I remember seeing some signs that said "Save us from Mavis."
Yeah, boy, shirts and everything else.
You remember that? All right. Well, y'all get ready. A Navy destroyer is going to be named the Ray Mavis.
Yeah.
That's what these other countries are going to hold up. Save us from Mavis.
I did not realize that was in the
Dust the old signs off.
Well, I'm learning a lot there.
You can sell him.
Because wasn't he appointed as something to do with the Navy after he was governor? He was in Washington for a long time.
He was director. He was, what was he, over the Navy? Because he was there when
the Luster's potentate or something like that.
Do y'all
all right, Coy.
I'm pretty sure this was Jackson, Mississippi. A lady was trying to get into her car, and a carjacker came up. She tried to fight him off, and he drove off and drug her down the road. Do you remember that?
I do not, unfortunately.
They got him. 20 years in prison is where he's headed for doing that little crime. That's probably not strong enough for somebody to do.
Secretary of the Navy. Thank you, Bob and Carl. Yeah, he was there when I'm serving.
Do what's that now?
Mavis.
That he was Secretary of the Navy.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all know that the Chinese hacked into the Treasury Department? Got some files?
I did not.
Yeah,
What'd they get?
Yeah.
They
probably used TikTok to do it.
From what I understand, it was not anything that was top secret that they got, but they did gain access into that.
That's a problem.
It is. Let's see here. The DEI
They said you're being quiet and that I looked happier last week. I was.
I know.
Why are you being quiet?
I'm just listening. I'm getting educated.
Is this a Bo Cephas shirt?
No.
He's used all his one-liners.
Yeah. You're boring.
I'm just listening.
Can I get a better co-host over here?
2 cups of coffee and she's off the deep end. I mean,
Does anybody want to volunteer?
As we look at what's going to happen Monday in Washington, we're going to have somewhere around 25,000 police officers, plus an additional 8,000 National Guard standing by in Washington for protection as the inauguration comes in at 17 to 18 degrees. Burr. That is what's coming on.
I bet they'll have him long trench coats on.
Yeah, I think I would too there. Let's see, do we think that Pete Hegseth will be will be approved? What are our thoughts on this? Is she making fun of me?
Yeah.
Hegseth.
I think he will.
I ain't got a clue what you're talking about, so that's why I'm quiet. But
the guy from Fox News.
If it's national news, I mean, unless I'm forced, I ain't watching it.
We call that government.
I know, and it makes me sick, so I seldom ever watch it.
I don't have a clue what's going on.
He's an appointee by Trump, and he took some heat from a lot of the senators that tried to throw him off, and he held his own, I think. And all through it, and again, don't get me wrong, I know that a man, what he does in his personal life sometimes influences things, but they took his personal life and tried to make it all about that instead of how he can do his job. We'll see.
And I think we will see a societal shift of really coming after people personally, because there's so much information available for younger people that are going to be coming up. And nobody's perfect. I certainly have not been, and I know Greg is the closest among us to perfect. But
I heard you singing "Close Enough to Perfect" by Alabama.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Don't you worry about my Greg.
But
I think he ought to be.
I'm not saying you get a pass, and if you're, sometimes your personal life reflects who you are, but we've got to differentiate ability to do the job and what and nobody is perfect. So if that's what you're looking for, an elected official, let me tell you what, you're about to be bad as
look at technology nowadays compared to when we were coming up. I mean,
there's a file on everybody,
cameras and videos, in the places or cell phones. I mean, there's a lot. It's so much more readily available now. Everything you do, you're on camera somewhere. I'm sorry.
It really limits.
They're not any good no more.
Yeah.
The fact is, it limits the quality of people that we get willing to put their name on the ballot because we treat them terrible, no matter if they're good or bad. I mean, somebody's going to go after you.
They're going through the mud,
and that's and people that have it made and don't really have a reason to. Why would they put themselves through what y'all are going to do to them? So it's just something to consider.
And
does it affect your ability to do the job?
That Bondi was tough.
Should we be talking about it?
She's a tough woman.
Yeah, she is, and I think she'll make it through that process also. We'll be right back as we'll do some birthdays next.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
At Pettit Jewelers in Philadelphia, Mississippi, trust Nicole with your priceless heirloom jewelry. With generations of refined expertise, she ensures your cherished pieces are meticulously cared for. Pettit Jewelers, Philadelphia.
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low-mileage cars and trucks. How about a Z71 2500 HD? Or maybe you're looking for the Ford F-150 with lots of leg room in it. Plenty of SUVs like the Explorer for the family. Or if you're looking for a gas saver to go back and forth to work, come by and see the mini cars like this Nissan.
The low-profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Welcome back. Anybody remember the Home Alone house?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It went on the market for like $2 million. It could have been a tad more, but the house is finally sold, and it sold for more than they wanted. Now, the couple that bought it back in 2012 paid $1.5 million for it. You want to know what they just sold it for?
What?
$5.5 million.
No joke.
Wow.
That's pretty good interest, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Now, I'm not sure if the owners, that would be one of these places, I think, that you could probably rent out or have people tour to make your money back. But that's
why would you want to do that? If you got that kind of cash, you ain't letting people tromp in and out of your house.
Yeah. We're not opening up the Airbnb.
No.
That's true there. I did see this, and y'all watch this. And you'll know this from the job you used to do, Greg, when you're welding and whatnot. Rings you cannot wear. If you work in a factory, do not wear a scarf. Unfortunately, a worker didn't realize that and
called in a
and didn't end well.
That's like
bless it.
Where?
This would be called.
It's fine. I was just.
I'm trying to find it.
Thought we were telling a story.
It was El Campo, Texas, is where it happened.
Wear your rubber wedding ring so it don't get caught. You got
if you're doing real work, but
doing real work, or you can just wear these metal ones that don't.
They'll have to cut that off of me when I die.
Even Greg has a metal one,
I didn't catch on to that rubber thing. I know that a lot of people have done that. It just, I don't know. It just.
Well, if you're an electrician, you can't wear a wedding band.
George Jones couldn't sing "Rubber Ring," golden. Y'all work with me here.
Look, what we need to do is everybody go out and grab a nice cold Coca-Cola and start your day right. You cannot beat this good stuff right here.
And you won't even
racetrack.
you won't even need any ice or a cooler starting Sunday. You can just set them. Well,
you can make it icy.
Freeze.
You can go out there and shake a little bit every now and then and make a little icy.
Yeah, I like the regular. My wife loves the vanilla.
That's one.
That's yeah. You like
I like the diet. Thank you.
Like it's helping you, Annie. and Scotty Ray likes it straight in the bottle. But I tell you, ice cold Coca-Cola help out a local store and your Meridian Coca-Cola.
Might I add, they said Diet Coke was Mr. Trump's favorite drink,
and they made him a special bottle. So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Well, I knew it was his favorite drink. I didn't know they made him a special
also likes
bottle.
Big Macs.
He
with
loves
fries.
Big Macs and fries and chicken nuggets.
The only thing me and him didn't agree on is that well done steak. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's well done.
Yeah, and ketchup on a steak.
No, I do the ketchup.
No, throw it on there just a second.
You can't be right
turn
about
it over,
everything.
Let it sear. Stick that dude on there on that plate.
But everything else, he is a big drinker of Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his favorite thing. And one last headline that I saw across the United States of when is it that a girl realizes she could be marrying the wrong man? What would be one of the first signs that you think, I don't need to marry you?
I mean, generally just all of them. But I don't know.
Would there be? Could you think of something that would make you go, I need to back up. I ain't marrying you now.
Yeah, I can think of 1,000 things.
Well, give me one example.
You know,
and I'm putting you on the spot.
Not showing up to the wedding would be good.
That would be the first call. He told you he didn't want to get married.
Comes out wearing your clothes or something.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Can I wear your shoes?
Yeah, that.
I read up on this story, and the girl had been dating this guy.
I left my wallet at the house.
Well, this plays into that.
Okay.
They had been dating for 10 years. As he proposed to her, he told her she could go buy her own wedding ring. And she goes, I ain't marrying you.
Did he say,
It took, I mean, she knew before.
You go get it?
No. He wanted her to actually go pay for it.
Well, for 10 years, she knew if he had
Yeah,
money
10 years. Well,
if you got
she
to
knew
fault.
how he was.
Yeah,
So,
that's
that's
her
on
own
her.
fault.
Okay, on her.
Yeah.
We got the verdict. It has been cast. Where's Nick when we need him to slam the gavel down in here?
I don't know. I can go pick him up.
We'll have to have Nick.
They're not cooking crawfish, unfortunately. I'm real upset about it.
Oh, because of the weather.
I found out yesterday that they had told me that it was next weekend, and it's cold.
I was
And
really wanting some
so,
shrimp.
I don't know.
I ain't getting it, am I?
I know.
Oh, boy,
It's
boy.
pitiful.
It is. All right, we got any birthdays, Odie?
We do. And talking about Nick Lisi, his youngest daughter, Sarah Lisi, turned 7 years old today.
7? Oh, bless it.
7 years old. So happy birthday. Stacy Hyatt, one of Greg's kinfolks on the other side, the in-laws, the outlaws. She's the big 5-0 today.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I could see the surprise in his face.
What'd you get her?
Stacey
Speechless
Thompson
again.
is 44 years old today.
I know you did not say her age. Who put that on there?
I'm not going to tell you who told me her age, but I was told.
Is it the Stacey Thompson from
Stacey Eggers Thompson? Yes, ma'am, from the city of Meridian. Yeah.
And how old is she?
44.
Well, get out of here.
She's young.
You should go around saying that. I'm gonna defend her.
Christy Mean, 52, and Maddie Turk, 13 years old today.
If you don't, he doesn't stop saying these women's ages.
Well, I mean, if they put it out there, it goes.
They sent you their age.
Somebody did. I'm not going to say who.
I would.
You would send me their age?
No, I would tell who did that.
Oh.
I've been around Julia long enough to realize if you were to say her age, it would be very bad.
She's
for
29.
It'd be very bad. I mean, I'm literally scared of you.
How old?
I'm not going to lie.
How old is your wife there, Greg? Your TV wife.
I suddenly got lockjaw.
Y'all said I was born in the 1600s, and they missed one in
Down in
Salem.
Louisiana, where the black trees grow, there's a voodoo woman named Marie Laveau. Hey, let me see if y'all can guess this as we get ready to close here of who this person is. Because I stared at it and I had no clue. It's a new movie coming out called Daddy's Home. And I looked at the picture and I have no clue who she is. Do y'all recognize that?
What is he?
I don't know what he is, but look at her.
I don't know. Who is that?
Look at that fine print.
Roseanne Barr?
Yes.
No.
It's an improvement.
Stop, y'all.
I would have never known that as her. It's a movie that she's coming out and she's dressed that way.
I can get somebody to do your hair like that.
No, I don't have enough hair to do that.
No,
All right,
she doesn't either.
Mark and Nelda, throw me some stuff there, Maria. It was on there. I did not see it. I'm sorry. Mark and Nelda's having an anniversary today. I don't know how many years.
Oh, so that number
Sorry.
you don't know.
Well, I really don't. Mark and Nelda, and I'm not sure of the last name. Somebody put it on there.
I was just checking to make sure we hadn't gotten any more late up here. I know occasionally I've noticed a birthday or two after we've gone on.
45th wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Okay. Congratulations.
Is that yours, Mark? Congratulations. He paid his house off.
All right. Have we left off anything that is coming up in the community over the weekend? I know we have the ribbon cutting today out at the Frank
Cochran Center.
Any other big things that we know of?
Hey, that's a reopening too, by the way. Y'all got mad at Wendy's.
Wendy's didn't burn down.
That's right.
They remodeled it.
That's a complete makeover.
They rebuilt it.
I'm just telling you.
Anyway, I just sometimes just have to ask.
Okay.
And I did on that one.
Yeah, I don't know anything else going on this weekend that I'm.
Tuesday. Don't forget the Mardi Gras parade. We need to talk about
That's
that.
February 22nd. Go to Meridian Mardi Gras on Facebook. If you want a float, the Mardi Gras parade's really fun, and
it is.
It's real. You can put a truck or a golf cart or whatever in there, and it's pretty easy approachable if you got a walking group. But Meridian Mardi Gras Facebook page, you can get all kinds of info about that, and we're going to be rolling out some stuff for a gumbo cook-off that you can participate in. It's not going to be open like the burgers where you go around and taste everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be judging only, but they can give away some if they want to.
And
but
I want to
that'll
point
be
this
fun.
out because I've been asked this. Meridian's Mardi Gras parade is not like New Orleans Mardi Gras parade would be. I just want to. It is not.
This is very kid-friendly.
This is family.
Yes, and there are a lot. Well, there's a lot of family-friendly parades, and it's not all like that in New Orleans too.
I've seen pictures.
Well, I've gone to it, so
I spent a week there one night.
I know. Anyways,
Was it
Meridian Mardi Gras
No.
parade is a lot more fun.
I'm going with Greg over
You
there.
don't have to do anything but put your hand up to get beads. You
Well,
don't
it's
have to
not
do
just-
any of that.
It's not just a Mardi Gras parade, and I don't know their names and all
Marcus
that,
and-
but it's all these. Well, down there, it's more than that. It's just each different parade means something different, and each different parade, you'll know if it's kid friendly,
Yeah.
family friendly, or
It's like
if
Crew of
it's the
Muses, Crew of
typical-
Toth. We have
Yeah.
the Crew of Midas. That's our parade in Meridian. But it'll
Those
be a
muffler
full
guys, huh?
It'll be a full day of
That's what
of Mardi Gras stuff. There's bands that are coming. There'll be crawfish. Just all the fun stuff. And Greg doesn't even have to go to New Orleans for it.
Greg does not go to New Orleans, period, unless
we've
I
heard.
am forced to.
We've
You
heard.
do? We go catch a ship there.
And I get gas in Hattiesburg, and I ain't stopping nowhere in New Orleans. I'm scared to death of that place. Now, Meridian's parade,
you can
I
go with
support
me. I'll protect
100%.
you.
It's family friendly.
Your
Meridian
TV
is
wife will
good,
protect
but
you.
We ain't going to New Orleans no more. I've been twice.
New Orleans has been written off my directory. It no longer
I love the
exists.
city. I get
know.
it.
I love the food. I love the culture and all that, but I'm scared to death of New Orleans. I ain't gonna
But,
lie.
well, then you can come to downtown
Meridian.
Meridian on February
There you go.
22nd.
And that's what the whole point that we're trying to make on that is it is family for the.
But sign up for the parade. Your groups need to sign up for that parade. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this Annie McKees, she's right. Thank you so much. On the same day, is going to be the Downtown History Walk, and you've gone to that, Scotty Ray. I've gone a couple of
Yes.
years. It's really neat. People dress up as famous Meridianites and tell history and tell the stories in different spots. That's going to be scattered through downtown. So you can come that day and you can do the whole history walk, go to the Mardi Gras celebration on City Hall lawn, and do the parade and have a big full Meridian day, lots of history, lots of Mardi Gras. And we're excited because we're going to be able to, I think that we're going to have people come for both, and that is going to just be a really good day in
So
downtown
is Ward
Meridian.
pretending to be his grandfather? Or is that just his grandfather that's been here the whole time that does that?
Oh, that's not Ward. That's the ghost of
Paul
Calhoun Pass. Yeah.
But there are so many people that come out and portray in this, and you learn a lot about Meridian.
You do. They are dressed up just like one of the 3 Foot brothers. He's dressed up in front of the 3 Foot Hotel, and he tells you how they came to build that building and stuff. So it's a lot of history. It's really good.
It is.
And Annie McKee, she spends a lot of time on that, and so we're all thankful for the effort that she puts into educating all of us on Meridian, so we don't forget.
It is work beyond. Y'all just don't know, and we appreciate you so much for doing that. As we get ready to leave, as always, we're leaving one thing, and each one of us in this room, that's that good Lord above. And Odie has got us a Bible verse to head out into the big wide world today.
Oh, this book right here teaches a whole lot since we've talking about teaching. Proverbs 3, verse 7, be not wise in thy own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil. Be not wise in our own ways. The Lord has a plan for each and every one of us. And every time we start something new, especially a day, we need to invite Christ to come in and be part of that day with us. Be part of our decisions, as he will not lead us astray. Keep him in your heart and change your life forever. Y'all have a great weekend. Be mindful, get ready for what may come next week, get everything tested, make sure it's all working correct, but stay safe, and we'll see y'all Monday. Until then, remember, we love you.
Anything y'all need to say before we go?
You coming next week?
I'll check my schedule.
Okay.
Well, no, y'all be safe, get your gas tanks filled up. Just be smart. Go get that bread and milk now. It's going to be gone.
Yeah, they're going to get it off the shelf.
Have a good
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.